A trademark is a badge of origin for certain goods or services. So a trademark can take a number of forms. It could be a word, it could be a logo, it could be a slogan, it could be more abstract things like a color or a scent. It's anything that you can say that I use as a badge of origin to represent the goods or services that I provide. If you want to register your trademark, you should come and talk to an expert who does it on a day-to-day basis, whether it's an IP lawyer or a trademark attorney. Trademarks, people often, in my experience, make the mistake and think that it's easy to get on and file it yourself, and that's right, but the trick isn't filing it. The trick is understanding what goods or services you're claiming, who the correct owner should be, making sure that the trademark protects you now or a few years down the track when the goods or services you offer might change or pivot. These are all traps that people fall into, and if you get it wrong, the consequences can be significant. So before jumping off and enforcing an intellectual property right, be it a trademark or any other IP right, a process should be undertaken where we first look at the IP right and try and assess whether there's any weaknesses or vulnerabilities in it. We need to think about what the opposition might do once we try to enforce that IP right, to put ourselves in the best position to make sure that we get a great outcome and that your IP investment is protected. So you should talk to an expert to make sure that you understand the weaknesses in your claim as well as the strengths, and to make sure that your IP enforcement strategy is thought through from start through to finish. It's different to a business name. I couldn't count the number of times a client comes to me and it's after the fact where something bad has happened, a competitor's using a brand or a trademark similar to theirs, and they want to do something about it, and they feel entitled to do something about it because they have a business name, and the advice I need to give them at that point is that the rights at law are limited. You need to have a registered trademark, and that is a process that you need to go through with IP Australia, and it can take some time to get a registered trademark, but the important thing is the date on which you apply for your trademark protection. Trademarks are jurisdiction specific, so there's no such thing as a worldwide trademark. Just like there's no such thing as a worldwide patent, you apply it for a trademark in a jurisdiction by jurisdiction basis. With trademarks, it's all about use. You need to use a trademark. If you go through the process of applying to register a trademark and you get a registered trademark and you sit on it and don't use it, then your rights could be vulnerable. And that is a common trap that clients fall into. So you need to make sure that you use your trademark. You need to make sure that you're keeping evidence of how you use your trademark throughout the course of your business. Most practices, indeed our practice, offer trademark services on a fixed fee basis, so you will understand exactly how much something is going to cost, and the fixed fee mechanism depends on the breadth of protection you seek. If you want to claim trademark rights across a number of goods or services or in a number of jurisdictions, yes, the cost will increase, but it's something that you can control and we're upfront with, and that there's visibility along the whole way. In my experience though, simple trademarks in one class, for instance, in one jurisdiction is very cheap, less than $1,000, and it's something that you have for the next 10 years with no further costs incurred. It's worth seeking to register your trademark because this is something that is an important asset to your business. Intangible assets on balance sheets are of increasing value, and your business needs to be thinking about how it protects those assets as well too. If you don't take the steps to register a trademark, then later down the track it is much more difficult to try and enforce those rights. I would strongly encourage people to consider IP protection, and particularly trademark protection. It is a simple step that you can take for minimal cost, and it can have long-term benefits for your business.